We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can one another, feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome all you awakened souls and truth seekers. This is Gail of Gaia, and I'm also known as Cherie Talaya. And this is a mystical sage inquiry where we detonate delusion with divine fire. Tonight's scroll is bold and unfiltered, NPCs versus the awakened. Who's running on source and who's running on script? Are you living a living soul? Are you on living a soul mission or looping a timeline you don't even know you're in? We're diving headfirst into the timeline split, background characters, and the real reason some folks just don't get it. And to crack it wide open with me is a woman who pulls no punches, speaks with soul fire, and has earned the love of awakened hearts across the field. Please welcome back my sister in truth, Jenny Lee.
Hey.
Welcome, Jenny.
How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's a heavy energy day to me. I don't know why.
Yes, it is.
And I'm boy, I was almost late. I was thinking it was only 7 o'clock or so, and here it was already 8 o'clock. But anyway, it is what it is. Let me fix this.
Yeah, it's been a lot of head pressure today on the sides. You know, you can feel that head pressure coming in, and the wavelength of the Schumann. You're kind of feeling this, and it's going through the ears, and it's just kind of putting your soul like, whoa, this is a lot to come in. And I think people at first, when they get it, they resist it, they push it away, and then you kind of just like got to let it flow through you.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, I'm trying not to fight it myself, but I wonder. Well, I don't know. Let's start with, maybe we should define what is an NPC in spiritual terms.
Non-player character. But, you know, the main thing is it only has a certain program that it resides to. Certain languages, certain paragraphs, because it only computes what is programmed to compute. And then the thing that I don't get is no emotion, no sympathy, no empathy. You should put these people or these NPCs around animals. You know, that's the whole thing. You'll notice that too. But also, like we talk about the veil, the eyes, there's a certain veil that's in front of the eyes, and that you don't see that veil at all there. It's just blank.
Is it possible for an NPC to become awakened, or are they simply placeholders?
I think they're placeholders. They can't go outside the program. I mean, because it's not going to change. I mean, it's an NPC. It's not going to be enlightened. You know, you got to have a soul to ascend. You got to have a soul to have a conscience to create, to develop, to go forward. And they're repeating a program over and over and over and over. And that's why you're seeing a lot of people, when they're getting upset, they're doing erratic things. They're throwing people under or beating them up for no reason. And it's a malfunction, you know. And so this program that's coming in is not functioning. The atmosphere is changing, and now these are dismantling and not functioning whatsoever. So that's what you're seeing.
So now, do they get angry when their program is somehow possibly
confused?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where we're seeing all this ridiculous aggression that.
Yes. That's why I said I don't want to be on the damn road with them when something really goes down.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness.
It won't be good.
Well, how do they show up in our lives? They could be anywhere, right? Or
Well, they're planted at certain times in each, that's the whole thing because it's planted so well. You're not tuning in to perceive a soul. You're looking at the outer image of everything and thinking that's fine, that's working, that's functioning. But when you install new ideas or independent thinking is where you catch them a lot.
okay, because there is no independent thinking. It's only a program, and their answers are already programmed. So if you ask them questions outside of their
Yes.
realm, so to speak, they're not going to be able to.
No.
Not going to be able to respond.
Not going to apply it. So that's the whole thing, and I mean that's just one layer of them, and then you have these, I call them organic systems, and then you have these clones. I mean, I think when we actually get a list of how many were manufactured, presented, used, manipulated, it's going to be enormous.
They kind of this is an interesting thought that came to mind. It kind of challenges the idea about everyone is eco, and that's only if everyone has a soul and a soul mission. So
Right.
if you're NPC, that's a whole different category. Really.
Mhm.
But here's the thing too. We have to be able to recognize people that might be NPCs or whatever, and they can even be family members. And I'm sure people don't want to hear that.
Mhm. Well, no, because that in itself is a program, because we feel that they're all attached by the blood, and then you're all connected. But that's why there's certain family members you're really connected to, and then there's ones you're not, and then you have that conflict that goes on. It's really recognizing that balance.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's that one relative that's just conflict. Yeah. All the time.
Wow. So now when it comes to the timeline split, how do you see that unfolding?
Well, I went over that today with my information, and then I verified what I was getting. Because I have a picture on Instagram where it has us, the 5D, going down the golden road, and everything's gold, and they have the golden key, and it's all enlightened in that path, and we can see and we can view and we can sense, and there's information and there's knowledge and there's the future in that path, and there's abundance and the jubilee and the golden age. And then the other side is a red entity that is cloaked, wearing a cloak and a hat, hiding its real identification, and is leading in a dark way and not showing where the light is. It's showing a red light, and because it's about deceiving. So we already in the split, because it has to do with your perception of what your conscience decides to see. So, for example, if you see the 5D people and they're writing out these frequencies, these waves, these enlightened process that our body's going through, they're going to flow with this wave. They're flowing with it. And the biggest thing that I put on Facebook today is the whole fear thing. Just cut it out. You keep cutting fear out, you're gonna the right side is gonna be great for us. You just keep cutting the fear. Don't acknowledge the fear. Don't walk in fear. And then you got the opposite side. That is all they're doing. They're recycling the same old programs, doing the same thing, and they're not enlightened by it. They're just drawn by what they're being told to do, and following the red light. And it's, as Spirit always said, it's going to lead them to a big, dark cliff. And that's the whole thing. Because on that side of it, it's like, don't learn anything, don't evolve, don't try anything new either. They just want a submissive sheep that needs to follow us and don't ask questions. So there's two paths right now going on. So let me go over what I kind of went over, and then I'm going to go over what chat verified with Spirit on. So there are now two Earths, not in a location but a frequency. One Earth still clings to fear, control, illusion that runs in a loop, feeling the debt clock, the false war, the systems of suffering, the digital noise that keeps people numb. Numb. But on the other Earth of rising vibration is run on truth, sovereignty, remembrance. It doesn't follow rules. It is a limitation. There's no limitation, and it listens to the only source. Many are there, some are stuck between, and others are in stasis, asleep waiting, and the sound of the truth is awakening something deep inside them. We all know it's you're feeling it, the emotion side, frequency side, all this stuff, we're feeling it. We're allowing that frequency in on the 5D. What's happening on the other side is it's dismantling faces. They didn't open themselves up to it. They didn't allow their frequency, their body, their energy open to it. So it's like sandpaper and friction and little charges. It's not working. So that's what's changing with this.
Someone was asking, can a daughter be an NPC?
Well, it depends on the program. I mean, yeah, it can. I mean, that's what they say. Each human's at a different level of understanding. And like they said a long time ago, there's 3 levels of these levels of conscience. And if there's that lower level, and I'm just not saying in the way that she is, we're not sure on that. I'm saying there's a low level, and they cannot think, they cannot function, they cannot go forward, they cannot go backward. And then they get into a dismantling tirade mode. And their illusion, whatever they decide what that illusion is, needs to be. And you need to adapt to their illusion. So it's out there a lot.
Yeah, sure is. I have another question here. I had read somewhere that is only 730 million people on Earth with soul. Is that true?
I would actually say that's probably right. I want you guys to understand how long they've been doing this. Because it's starting to surface. So how long they've been doing it underground, above us, how long they've been putting these programs in and doing all this. And so the percentage, of humans, is they're like, yes, what's the percentage? But I'll give you an example. I mean, you look around, people, everywhere you go now, they're telling you. They can't connect with people. It doesn't make any sense. It's in front of us, black and white. So I'm sure that's going to be revealed here soon.
So if somebody has a family member who's an NPC, how do you love them without being drained?
You identify. You don't put your energy into it. You don't let it consume your energy in the first place. And you're to be self-aware. The whole thing is being self-aware. And it's not something it's driving you nuts that you're like, this isn't making sense. You have to just say, okay, this is a completely different program that's in front of me. The thing that I noticed with them too, they don't speak with passion. There's no passion with them.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good point right there. Yeah.
They don't have future dreams of doing anything. They just go with the program.
Well, does do the artificial timelines have to collapse for Earth to fully ascend? And are the NPCs tied to those, what they call them, some will call them phantom timelines, others artificial timeline?
Well, the timeline, when you look at a thing, what is that? Is it a frequency that creates a netting of that timeline? You know what I'm saying? So what creates the timeline? I want you to think about how it's made. And is that old ways of doing things in a 3D? Yes, it's the old ways. Is that going to advance and change in the new ways? Yes, of how that develops or creates in a positive way. So when they're talking about that loosh, especially if it's a negative timeline, you know what I'm saying? And it's controlled. It's about containing. If that is presented, there's not going to be, it can't hold itself anymore because it doesn't have any energy to work off of anymore.
Yeah, that's right. They have to feed off, because they don't have a soul, they have to feed off the energy of others.
Right.
And if somebody has an attachment or something like that as well, it might actually spark arguments in order to create loosh. Would you agree with that?
And that's why you guys, you want the tool to see what they are. All you got to say is look at them straight in the eye. That is the one thing about anybody. I have to see their eyes for everything. And if they don't look at me straight in the eye, I'll go around in circles till I get that knowledge of them. The only words you need to say, I don't care if it's a demonic, an entity, a demonic person, an NPC, all you have to say is identify. Because at that point, they lose their composure of who they are at the point of you saying that with power.
Oh, wow.
They lose the composure. And it doesn't matter if it's an ET or a program or whatever, because on their end, they're exposed.
Have you done this with anyone?
Yeah.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it became very obvious at that point?
Oh, yeah. It's very much a dismantling phase.
So they're likely to get very angry.
They disengage, and then they start to turn the other direction because they don't want to be identified no more, and they don't want to put attention onto them anymore. So that's the problem.
Wow. Well, somebody says here, I mean, this may be related to the energy. She says, I feel like crying all day, so much coming to the surface.
Yes, but that a part of the 144, the ones that are awake, all that stuff. You guys you have to look at yourself. Your soul is a filter. It's filtering things out. It's moving it through you that no longer applies to you, no longer need. You're moving it through you, and you're okay with that. But as it goes, it's going to trigger certain things to move through you. Like tomorrow, I mean, today's been a big day like that, and then tomorrow will be different, because this is the thing. The days to come, there's with a higher vibration, more enlightened Earth, that I would say that happy conscience is going to step in, and you're going to feel enlightened by everything. As the negative goes, the higher source of power of enlightenment comes in too. So you got to keep filtering. And this is the thing I tell people, if you feel an emotion, let it go. Don't hold it. Don't put it in the gut. That's the worst thing you can do. Put it back in the chest, back in the gut. You got to let it go.
So just, let it, yeah. You're purging. And it's kind of like surrendering to it and letting it go. There was somebody that asked something. I don't know what happened. Do you know about anything that happened at the White House today? Because I wasn't paying attention to any of that type of stuff. So if you know.
So listen, Linda. On this one.
I haven't paid any attention to that today.
So this was one because me and Jeep did a show, and I said, watch the buildings, watch for the buses, for the government to be loaded up in them. And I had a friend that sent them. She says, that's already happening. Like 24 hours later, they were all starting to load them up. Now, what's going to happen in Washington, because they're going to lock it down and fencing, okay? They already started, those barriers are already attached to the ground that they're going to put up. And then I said that I want you to watch Washington the way I said that it's going to be a filter process situation, how they're filtering people and their information. So I think it's going to be one of those places that they're going to be filtering. So you want to be paying attention to military presence aggressively coming in. Could be tomorrow, could be this week. So they're going to start to use Washington as the first example. And then watch the fences go up. The cement blocks go up. So all of this. So it's coming. And then all the Democratic cities, because, they wanted these smart camps. Well, they're going to get a smart camp, but they ain't going to get out of the camp until they have to go through a process and decide where they're going to send them and if they are safe for society. So that picture that I have on Instagram that has the helicopter, has everything above, has the tents, has the buildings, has the buses, the white buses, that's representing what's about to happen in the Democratic cities. That's where the pit is right now. We dealt with some of the government processing. We have not dealt with the state, and they're going to lock them out. Put them on buses, load them up, and filter them. So that's what's coming.
When you say filter them, what exactly do you mean?
Filter means.
I know what a filter is, but
the rats have information. The rats have intel, and so as soon as they are, it's like any type of crime, they're going to talk to them, communicate with them, find out what they know, and then decide what they need to do with them.
Now, somebody else was asking, Jen had said she didn't see anything in the eyes of someone. Is that an NPC?
Yes. And it is hard for me, because when I don't see something, I want to figure it out. And I've seen them in many places, and that's why when I can't figure something else out, I want to get very close to it to see what's going on with it.
Well, here's an interesting question somebody came up with. Why do people who took the jab makes this sound like an animal or look at you with glaring looks?
When this thing goes back to the brain stem, when it reaches that brain stem, then they've basically lost their personality and what they created in that lab, and decide that that's in that brainstem, and the traits and their genetics. There's not a clear path of that, but you're going to see, because that it's snary, and that's something a demonic does. That snares and is triggered by anything that is enlightened. So, as you call it, a slow possession, because they said within those shots, the symbols in the shots.
Many people have been reporting that, major personality changes in people, and that's because of exactly what you're talking about right now. And the sad part of it is it does open them up for attachments and
Right.
bad entities taking over them. Now, at the same time, I've heard that most negative entities have been removed from the planet. So,
So because before, and this is what would happen, you'd be in dreams and all this stuff, and there was always something that would suggest and push you to getting into that negative, to getting into that fear-based process, and you would have the nightmares. This is the thing that if you're recognizing, people are not having nightmares like they used to, or night sweats like they used to, because there's not that extra layer that pushes that no more. All you are creating is your own fear that's in that process now. So, and I've had some attacks, and I haven't had that in years, So, and I'm talking about something in the room that just, I wake up with marks on my legs, or I'm on the other side of the wall. And I haven't had that issue for 4 years. It's been a long time. So that power source is not there at all. So all you got is they're recycling old programs that they know, and they're making their own negativity, own process, and then that loosh that's hanging around that's not really going any direction. It's just going up higher, because in the enlightened information or enlightened energies coming to Earth, and that loosh above has nowhere to go. It can't go lower anymore, so it's going to be compressed. We'll see what happens to it when it gets compressed.
Okay. Somebody is saying that they think narcissists are NPC.
Could be.
Good chance, right?
That could be very well. Of course, again, no sympathy, no empathy.
Yeah, those features need to be there too. Otherwise, it might just be a control freak.
Right.
And that's probably programs as well that have been either ingrained or put there over the years of, through any number of ways, really.
Right.
Let's see here. How do you think religion plays a role with the NPC?
Well, okay, if you put an NPC in a church level situation, because this is the thing, we would think that, just say, a negative energy going into a church, you think it would respond to that. But right now, if you go into a Catholic church, which we all know that they were the center process of the Kabbalism and the child sacrifice, so it would be at home in certain religions. So this is the thing, the truth has to come out about all the religions. And that's why I think there was a deal made with the churches on all the tax benefits they had, going along, going with the agreement of what they would get from that. So like everything else, everybody signs a contract. The only ones you see these smaller independent towns that you come across. They're not attached to big churches or anything like that, and they are just trying to serve the best they can to help each other. I mean, the big manufactured churches are going to be gone. the big profit churches are going to be gone. So
there was a video by some guy in Strike Warrior, I think, White Warrior 1 or something like that. And he had a whole, it was a very long show and covered a lot of things, but he also covered that all religions need to go down and then we can become free because they have been a big part of the problem.
Right. And so bring the truth to the surface and let people read it. The Book of Thomas, Book of Enoch. I mean, all those that need to be read, not hidden.
Well, somebody's asking this. Okay. Interesting question. So, are you just declaring, I am an awakened soul being? Will that expose them?
Yeah. I'm a sovereign, I am a sovereign, and I am an independent soul, and I am not contained, I am not controlled. I walk my path, and no one has control over me. Not man's rules, not man's chain effect of their earth conditions. You are a sovereign soul, and they are not controlled. And that's the whole thing when we were presented with the birth certificate of saying on the arrival of the birth certificate, and then your parents sign it, and you're dead at that point. You have to say, do you see me alive, or do you see me dead by the state? And so you're not. You have to present that you are not dead. You are a living soul, and you have the authority to walk this earth of free will.
Yeah, that's a problem in the courts. They consider you dead. You should ask the judge, am I supposed to play dead here or what? Because that's what it's all about.
Right.
Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, somebody's talking about this. Maybe you might want to. I'm in the M club with both hands and might be 144, and the Akashic reading in 2015 said to 2025. What do you think?
That means you got a hard path ahead of you when it comes to obligations of when things flip over. Your path is written a long time ago, and that you need to figure out what you need to do for humanity here. And that there is a different type of energy that will turn on inside of you, and it is chosen mark, and a chosen mark of protection along with that, and going into our superhuman abilities of looking at things with our mind and our conscience and knowing that we have more power than we know.
Now, somebody says here that the reading that they had apparently said the RV is in 2025.
Right.
I also heard that there won't be any RV until we get into 5D. So.
No, we're in 2025. That's what I'm saying. You have the 5D, you're already walking in the 5D. They're walking in the 3D.
3D. Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense.
It's a conscience level. See, that's what people need to get out of the physical. It's a conscience and how you're seeing things. If you're seeing yourself limited, like she was here. Let's go into this real quick. Okay, so we got to 2. So you are currently in a plunge. You are projecting. Withdraw your energy of the false grid and collapse. You are not here to be a victim of reality. You are here to rewrite it. Everything in your body knows. Every cell is waking up. And I talked about this a couple shows ago, that, like I said, with cancer, when you get cancer, And people die rapidly when they have cancer because it's their thought process. And then the cells in your body acknowledge, and they're telling me to die because they're saying I'm going to die. And
never own a disease that they tell you have.
Exactly. So then, like here, it's saying that everything in your body knows every cell is waking up. So once you acknowledge, and stop giving the big corporations the power of when you are going to exit and when you're going to leave, then everything will change. So you can heal your body with the intentions. You can collapse the timelines at will. If you are not alone, there are legions of light walking with you, and where you have to call that in too. So let me say this clearly. And the frequency of love is not weak. It is soft. And the strongest, the most potential force upon this planet. It's not romantic love, but it is divine remembrance. Love activation. Love breaks chains. Love is uncensored. Love is a collapse of the old system and brings forth the new.
Someone was saying something about they have a sister and that both of them got the jab. Two sisters, they got the jab, but they don't look at them that way, or it doesn't. That didn't. She didn't agree with that. But we have to remember too. There were saline shots out there too.
Yes, there was a ton.
So
there was a ton of saline shots.
They had to do that because otherwise it would have been too obvious, even though we figured it out anyway.
Right.
Yeah, somebody else is saying that too. Okay. Somebody, Andrea, oh, this is so true. I'm a starseed and an empath lately. When I go out, it's exhausting.
It is. It's like, what war am I going to fight today? Where do I want to go? And what type of crystal do I need to bring to keep the negative away? Yeah. And then I think it's hard now. It's the conversations and how long it takes someone to do something anywhere public. It drives me nuts because the squirrel syndrome hits for me very hard, but it seems like they're slowing down even more. So yeah, that's amazing.
With me, it seems like time goes so fast I can't keep up with it.
Wait, just stand in line at a store. We'll see how long it takes.
Now somebody's asking, what is the intent of mass immigration? It's teaching a threshold in many countries. It's a great way.
Because you have to go back to your sovereignty country where you were born to get your funding. Then they have to lock down everything, and then the funding's going to pour in, but you have to go back to your country to get that money.
Well, that might provide incentive for people to go back to their country and stay here. So somebody mentioned that you got two, and I see what they're talking about. There are two white circles on the closet door behind you, Jenny, and we never saw them before.
I don't know.
They're on the closet doors back there. Two circles. There's one, well, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but that's interesting. I don't know what it is, but I've seen orbs in your room before when we were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, that's what they said, two energy balls around Jenny.
Yeah. They move around when they want to.
Why do you think, this is a good question, why do you think so many Catholics can't see how evil their churches really are?
Because that's a deep program. That is a very rooted, and it's a very controlled religion. really idolizing. And so you know, when I was young, one of the things when I saw a father, pastor, whatever you want to call him, and I walked into the church and he was like looking at me, and I'm like, what I see is immortal. And unless Creator tells me that you are this great God that is not mortal, I'm not bending my knees for you, because you are a man in a mortal suit and you have mortal issues and mortal problems. I'm like, no. They idolize them.
Religion was definitely man-made, and if you look at the background of each religion, every one of them was created by a male figure, which is one of the reasons why patriarchy is so strong as it stands at this point in time. But divine feminine is rising. And if you notice, a lot of times it's the women that are coming forward about truth issues that some men fear to tread. And I'm not trying to, divide anything, but look at Tulsi, for example, as an example.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I've seen a lot of guys on a lot of process coming forward on that too. I mean, they're just afraid because when their partner is the female, they really get their ass chewed out more of them coming to the surface versus the other way.
Okay. Oops. What is that happening? Somebody says, this is funny, bring in some cooler air for Arizona. The whole country, it's 94 inside, 115 outside. And my cat is so hot. It's hot here where I'm at now too, in Arkansas. And I've seen temperatures around the country are running very high. And then we're supposed to run into a mini ice age after we get through the heat spell eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's asking if you're Jenny in the M and Crescent Moon Club.
I know Gail can answer that.
I can. Yes, I would say yes. I know. I'm in it for that matter.
Yeah.
Both hands and the crescent moon. So,
yes. That's a good one. Okay, somebody just said that. Andrea, they tried to raise me Catholic, but I never bought into it. I felt I didn't need a middleman. And that's exactly You don't.
What it is.
You don't.
We never did. And that's one of the things that's really important now is to go direct.
Well, the thing about this, and then people need to look up about the Devil's Bible, is a cardinal that made the Devil's Bible. They don't talk about the Devil's Bible. You do the research on the Devil's Bible and how big it is and what happened with that story. They'll give you willies.
Let's see. I'm just scrolling, looking for. I might have to let my dog in here. Hang on a second.
That's okay.
Get in here. Come on, lay down. Go lay down.
So this is something else with their sayings. So today I offer you the truth. The split has occurred. You must now choose your earth, not with your eyes, but with your frequency. The gate is open, the earth is listening, and the light is yours to claim it.
I claim it.
Yeah, claim it.
Speak it out loud, seriously. Well, somebody's putting up, maybe somebody was wondering what the M means, and it says, I heard the M means the person is protected, yes, and held
Yes.
back until the last minute because our energy is very powerful.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, question here is, I have two and on both hands. It's any different? Is it any different?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. I got it on both hands too. So does Jenny. Also, I think that's an indicator that in some way you have a mission that you should be involved in. Otherwise, you wouldn't need that.
Yeah,
Actually, everybody's here on a mission. We all came here,
right.
a soul to people, to accomplish what's being accomplished right now. And
Right.
technically, in some capacity, you should be involved and doing your part.
Right.
Because the more people,
Right. And that's the whole thing, is when you're not distracted with your debt, your bills, all the negative stuff. And then that's what I'm saying. After everything flips over and the Jubilee flips over, and this is what I ask. What are you going to do? How are you going to serve humanity? What are you going to do? There's no excuses about anything anymore. You don't have physical issues or anything like that. How are you going to create? How are you going to help people and turn this world around? That's the question. And something every soul should think about.
that's right.
So, so they're talking about Washington, D.C. and all the military buses, and with that process. So I'd say that's one, but I think New York's next. So there's another thing too with locking down Washington.
Yeah, I already saw them putting up some more
Okay,
fences.
so what do you think they have to secure to bring in if they want to secure it? What do you think that's going to be? I'm just gonna see if you guys get this.
Are you asking me?
Yeah. What do you think that they have to secure down? Just say in an area. I'm just saying, let's use Washington as an area. That they have to bring something, and this is what I want you to pay attention. After they secure Washington and they have everything up and you can tell it's secure, and you start to see big ass semis and white trucks, semi trucks, and they're going in there. What do you think they're bringing in there? I can tell you what they're bringing in there. Medbeds.
I was just going to say Medbeds come to mind. Let's see what else we got here. So did you see them already? Are they coming in now already? Is that what you're saying? Because I haven't.
No, that's what they're saying, and that's what what they saw. You see people getting loaded up from the government and the state now. But what I'm saying is when they start to put that around Washington and they secure it, like Trump said today, I'm just telling you, everybody thinks it's that one thing that's going on. Always they say, this is why we're doing it. And you know what? There's always something else that's really going on why they're securing it.
Hopefully they're arresting a lot of the congressional people if they didn't already do that. The traitors that they are.
Yeah, we need galleys.
Yeah, once Kasara is announced, people will leave to get to their country so they can get their funds.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. By the droves. By the droves.
Let's see. What do I see?
So here's another one. Align every soul hearing this now to the truth of who they are. Remove all veils, restore the memory, and may we all walk together in the path of the light, sovereignty, free, untouchable by the source himself.
Something that
We're all about as one together, as a collective, as one together.
there's a lot of oh boy. A lot of people are going to be very shocked about a lot of things that they find out about, and a big part of finding those things out is actually being accepting of it as well. Not that it's right or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. And just like I said, I think all the pharmacies are going to go to the side, and then metaphysical and naturopathic places are going to replace them.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll through the questions as quickly as I can to see what people want to know. A lot of people are saying, they have friends or relatives that desperately need Medbed.
Right, and that's the system already knows. That's where things are going to change, and it's not someone you have to give information. They're just going to tell you a location that you need to be at.
And Trump's been behind that for a very long time. And that's not an easy rollout, because there's going to be all kinds of flack from pharmaceutical companies, from the medical association. I mean, they see
it's very easy. All you got to do is unplug them.
It's very easy to do
that when you get unplugged. When they get unplugged, it's a done deal, So once they're unplugged, forget it. No internet, no cell phone, no money, no bank account, no access. Just saying, it's pretty easy.
Okay, somebody's asking, when DC is cleaned out, will the buildings be demolished?
Yes.
It's going to be hit with
that whole land.
rods of God. Right?
And it's almost like has to be at a still point for a while because of what has happened there.
Well, isn't it how unbelievable is it that they were actually doing these horrific things to children right under the White House?
Exactly. And that's the thing about the ground. It has to come to a certain point of the soil, and then it has to surface and all that, and that's the whole thing. It needs one big, I would say, bring in the natives and let them do the dance and let them burn the fire, because that's the fastest way you can cleanse land. And that's the whole thing, but that's going to take a while. I mean, I don't know anybody wants, after you find out everything that's going on, I don't know when anybody's going to want to even be there.
That's why Melania didn't want to even stay there when they first, when we first got into the presidency. She knew. Of course, he knew too, but she knew. And I can appreciate that. I really can.
Right. And LA is no different.
Yeah, LA. Yeah, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? That's going down. What about all of the? Have you heard any more? Got any more information on the volcanoes or earthquakes or any of that type of thing?
So the Ring of Fire. When they talk about the Ring of Fire, and they've been talking about how much as you look at things, and we're talking about the inner earth stuff that's going on. And so I'm thinking to have that, those, are we going back in the past again? That's the whole thing about this. When you, again, look at the Ring of Fire, so we're looking at a 3D process, volcanoes. But of course, I told you there's more than volcanoes underneath them. And once that surfaces, what is that going to surface? Look outside the box on that, why that's in an activation mode, and what is it bringing to the surface is what, because you guys are seeing a lot of stuff that's on the internet. Again, real journalism would have to be there on site to see all these. Because you're not sure what you're seeing on TV unless you know someone in that area. That's
the best confirmation you can get is somebody actually there in
that you know.
Area. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is the Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash, a lot of, they've had songs about that. And the thing is, what does it really mean? It's not just things burning. I think it's also about something surfacing and coming back. Because we think in our world that everything's new. It's not new. What's happening?
Somebody's wondering why they would take the Medbeds to DC. I don't understand.
Controlled area that you would have if that is the area where they're going to do a major port of healing that is very secured. So,
well, they would want to, big pharma and medical AMA type ones would want to destroy them too. I mean, they see them as a major threat to their future lives. And they're going out of business as they see it, even though they won't really. But actually, the way they did things, they will. Okay. They said that somebody's just saying that they burnt the tunnels in DC years ago. Many anons have the videos. Yeah, well, we weren't saying that it's still going on. We're saying that it did go on.
It did. And it's at a point that hasn't happened in a while, but the point is, what they're going to do with it right now. And I do believe that it'd be most secure place until they decide the rest of the United States could be able to adapt to having those devices in another secure place.
Somebody said, Trump said today that they will build DC up again to a beautiful place, a safe place. Do you think they will be using technology to build DC quickly?
You're going to have to get every damn shaman in the world there to cleanse that place.
Really? And not only was it horrific for what was going on with the children, but all the congressional lies, deception. It is just endless ugliness if you think about it.
I don't know. That's not good to look at it.
Somebody is saying if 5D already exists, and remember it's a frequency, why would there be a White House or any satanic activities?
Again, it has to do with the path. It has to do with perception of what you're looking at and what you're seeing. That's the whole thing, that people are not getting past the understanding. It is not the physical place, it's the conscience. What you decide is real and you create it, and especially with the negative. So what I'm saying is you've been in 3D for so long and they still will not say it's dismantled, it's gone. We know a lot of things are gone, but people refuse to believe them because the media tells you.
And the media is liars. They're big liars. they've been lying to us ever since they existed. They're part of the cabal. I mean, I would think people would know that by now. Melania had the White House cleaned with exorcism before she moved in.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not enough.
Yeah. Somebody's asking about dragons, Jenny. Any comment on dragons?
Dinosaurs and dragons go together. So when you reveal the bones, what bones are you really looking at? Is the question. What is missing off those bones? And this is a hard one because people are like, we've been programmed, the history books, how we are created, what happened, something came through the firmament, which nothing can come through the firmament, and took out all the dinosaurs, right?
Well, I read that was an entirely bogus story from the get-go.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
I mean, biblical terms that talk about the dragons. You know, there's so many books about it. There's just not much talking about dinosaurs, you know. You see that? You know, so, and they're in many sculptures, writings, ancient years and stuff, you know. So that's the whole thing. Again, program, but they don't want you to see that. They don't want you to dive into that.
Exactly. And it'd be really easy to write it off as a fairy tale type stuff.
Right.
And, some of the fairy tale stuff we're going to be surprised at as things move on.
I'm at a point, and then when you get, I'm going to tell you you're at a good point, when nothing will shock you anymore. Like, I'm at a point, nothing's going to shock me anymore. I've dealt and consumed all that I can consume on it, and I'm just like, nothing. It doesn't matter what color it is, what it looks like, it won't even shock me anymore.
Well, that's where I am. Let's see. Oh, here's somebody's talking. They have a lot of. I live by the skirts of a volcanic mountain by the Sea of Cortez. A lot of UFO sightings coming out of it and the sea as well. Mm-hmm. Is there a subaquatic base by there? I don't know exactly where that is, but quite possible.
There has been for a while.
Oh, New York says his doctor, my wife's cancer doctor, was an arrogant NPC with no compassion. I believe that. I've seen it.
He's getting the money.
I've seen it.
All they care about.
And cancer doctors in particular are the worst because every chemo regimen that they get the patient on, they get a percentage of the money for it. Mm-hmm. That doesn't usually happen with the other things. They get paid for vaccines too. But that one is unique to the cancer oncologists. They make money when you choose what I consider a poisoning of your entire body, including in destroying your immune system. When there are other alternatives out there, and then now I see a lot of people that are trying to combine it with other things and saying that it still is good, yada yada.
Right.
I don't know. I guess if you had that diagnosis, you, out of fear, fall for things you probably wouldn't under normal circumstances.
Right.
I don't know what this is about. Let's see. Well, this is from the Dragon's Rider, so maybe that's what they don't operate in 3D, but 5D, because they sent people to come rape me to catch and trap my soul or into their box or container. Some of them had soul guards to come along with them. I didn't get the whole story there.
They're guardians.
Guardian. Yeah. They are
Yes.
guardians. That's what you said, right?
Yes, they are guardians.
Uh, what do you think the biggest single risk is for an awakened soul right now in a world full of programmed responses?
Fear.
Good answer. Definitely a good answer.
Fear, fear, fear.
Oh, somebody's saying I've seen them too. I even seen one in an outline of a in the forest when we were
Hmm.
driving. I see dragon clouds almost every day and hearts. Yes, I've seen that too, Gabriella. Okay. Here's somebody else that said they're at the point of nothing shocks me anymore.
No.
There's
You can stand there and the whole world can burn down. You're like, yeah, okay.
Can we move along now? Yeah. Oh, here's a what's this? Q. Have you heard about the bones of a unicorn found in Iowa? Did the Smithsonian take it? Well, if there was, they probably wouldn't, and they probably hid it.
I heard about that they found that. I'm sure someone has it
Yeah,
and they don't want people to see it.
right. Now a lot of the dinosaur stuff is bogus, totally bogus. Um, anyway. Okay, Jenny, here's a question for you. Do you think Yeshua Christ will come to earth physically?
Again, in his form, which you want to go into creator's form, is an energy that can form into whatever he desires. So I think we need to get out of the physical side of things and thinking it always has to come back as a human. And that is not so. It will come back as its original form, which it was never, you say, we decide that it's not a white Jesus. We know that, where he was originally born and raised and all that stuff, and that's deceives everything right there too, along
And
with the fact, yeah,
I was just gonna say, who was the name of that guy, Borgio or something like that?
yeah,
That was his picture was used
I
as
know.
Christ, and I don't know.
Um,
So he wasn't white;
so
he was dark skinned.
so it's not that you will know him by his identification. You'll know him by the sound of the voice and the energy that presents in front of you. It's a voice of the knowing. So we get caught up in the physical, and that's a 3D concept because that's what we think. To accept something, it has to be in the physical, it has to be in the blood and the bone, and it's not so, because it's a spiritual being. He already ascended. And and I, like I said, when I do mediumship or anything, none of them want to come back as a human. None of them do. Okay, he don't want to come back as a human. Okay, so everybody needs to get that concept out of their head, because he's not coming in that form. It's his enlightened form. So and he's already been upon this realm several times in that form that he chooses. So no, not of the flesh.
Okay. Someone's asking, are people still getting abducted from aliens?
I don't think so. In the last, it's been a while, I think,
Yeah,
unless they made deals,
that's
because that's
my.
what they did. That's when they did a long time ago. They made deals.
I agree with Jenny with that. That's what I thought that came to my mind. I see dragons in the clouds. I've seen them too. Uh, uh,
No, what I haven't heard is anybody gotten paid for those shots, because I know they went after FISA, and that was like the biggest lawsuit in the world for, what they have done. I'm just wondering if anybody's gotten paid with that yet. I wonder, because that kind of just slipped away, and there's been no verification of where that money went or who got it.
Yeah. The attorneys.
Yeah.
They're
Bloody
really
hell.
notorious for that. How often do you see an attorney do something charitable, shall we say? Very rare. As you can tell, I'm not very fond of them. Let's see. What? How do you stop the abduction if you did unknowingly make a deal? You say, I do not consent.
I think we could take two more and then we're going to have to close it out.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking. Okay, here's one. Would they know which batches were bad?
Batches of what?
They must be talking about the vax, I would assume. And
Oh,
yes,
yeah, they know exactly where they're at.
And you can find out yourself if you or somebody that that got it. They could find out from whoever they received it from what batch.
Yeah, go to fucking Walgreens. I'm telling you, they were in it big time.
So, okay, well, I'm not seeing anything else right.
Are you there? We just shut down.
Twice now. We lost the connection twice. I don't even know if I'm connected at the moment. If I am, we're gonna call this a wrap. I don't think we're gonna come back on anyway. And we were ready to close anyway. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you again soon. And stay in the light and live the way you want to be remembered. And I'll see you again soon.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day. We'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers. Stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now. Don't look back now. Rise up. Stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on